शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। कठोपनिषद अध्याय 2 वल्ली 2 मंत्र 12। एको वशी सर्वभूतान्तरात्मा एकं रूपं बहुधा यः करोति तमात्मस्थं येनुपश्यन्ति धीराः। तेषां सुखं शाश्वतं नेतरेषाम्। We will continue the bhashya. Tam atmastham स्वशरीर हृदयाकाशे बुद्धौ चैतन्याकारेण अभिव्यक्तम् इत्येतत् नहि शरीरस्य आधारत्वम् आत्मनः आकाशवत् अमूर्तत्वात् आदर्शस्थं मुखमिति यद्वत् तम् आत्मस्थं येनुपश्यन्ति धीराः। आत्मस्थं means atmani sthitam atmastham, one who is present in the atma. The subject matter is atma and it is described as one who is present in atma. Atma itself cannot be present in Atma. You cannot climb your own shoulders. It is not possible. Therefore, Bhashyakara gives a different meaning of Atma. Atma means buddhi. Atmani buddhau sthitam. one who is present in the buddhi. And where is buddhi? Swasharira hridayakashe. In the akasha, in the space that is in the heart of one's body. Swasya sharirasya hridayasya akashe. Swasya sharirasya hridaya akashe. In that there is buddhi, and in the buddhi Atma is present, Atma is sthita. When you say Atma is sthita in the buddhi, Atma is standing in the buddhi. Sthitam literally means standing. Atma is standing in the buddhi. Then one may get another question. Does Atma need a locus for standing? Does Atma need a support for standing? One may get this question. So there is adhara adheya bhava. The pot is on the table. Table is adhara, pot is adheya. Between table and pot there is adhara adheya bhava. Similarly, when the Upanishad says Atma is present in the buddhi, Atma becomes adheya and buddhi becomes adhara. So there is adhara adheya bhava between Atma and buddhi. It seems to be so. But then, does Atma really need an adhara? Atma cannot have an adhara, and Atma can never become an adheya also. Why? Because Atma is independent. Chandogyopanishad, chapter 7 says, Sve mahimni tishthati, Sve mahimni pratisthitaha. The Brahman is standing in his own glory, meaning he does not need any other support. Therefore, Atma cannot have adhara, and buddhi cannot be adhara of Atma also, because buddhi is parichinna, and the parichinna cannot accommodate the aparichinna. Therefore, we should understand the statement in a different way. Therefore, Bhashyakara says, Chaitanyakarena abhivyaktam ityetat. Though the Atma is present everywhere, in the buddhi, the Atma manifests. Abhivyaktam. The Atma manifests in the form of Chaitanya. Chaitanyakarena abhivyaktam ityetat. It is the meaning of sthitam. Therefore, when someone says Atma is present in the buddhi, we should understand that Atma is not sheltered in the buddhi. Atma is everywhere. It is neither sheltered in the buddhi nor it is confined to the buddhi, but it manifests in the form of Chaitanya only in the buddhi. The Chaitanya is also present everywhere because Chaitanya is Atma. But the manifestation of Chaitanya is found only in the buddhi. The expression of the Chaitanya is only in the buddhi. Therefore, Chaitanyakarena abhivyaktam ityetat. This is the meaning of Atmastham. Atmastham means buddhau Chaitanyakarena abhivyaktam. Nahi sharirasya adharatvam atmanaha. Why this interpretation is given? Because sharirasya adharatvam nasti. Atma is not sheltered in the body. Sharira does not become adhara of the Atma. So, Atmastham, we can take it as Sharire Sthitam Ityapi. Atma can be understood as Sharira also. In fact, that is what Bhashyakara takes it as. Swasharira. Atma, he takes Sharira. Sharire Hridayam. Hridaye Akashaha. Tasmin Buddhihi. Tasmin Abhivyaktam. That is the meaning of Atmastham. So, Atmastham means Sharire Buddhau Abhivyaktam. Atma cannot be sheltered in the body. Sharirasya Atmanaha Adharatvam Nasti. The Sharira has no Adharatva of the Atma. Sharira does not become the support of the Atma. Why Atma cannot have support? Because Atma does not need any support. Neither Atma needs any support, nor the Sharira can accommodate the Atma. Akashavat amurtatvat, because it is amurta. Atmanaha amurtatvat. Atma is amurta. Amurta means aparichinna, free from limitations. Murta can have two definitions. One is parichinna parimanatvam murtatvam. Another definition of murtatva is kriyavatvam murtatvam. The one that has kriya is also called murta. Atma is amurta. In this context, we have to take murta as parichinna parimana. Amurta means aparichinnam ityartha. Akashavat, like space. Space cannot be supported in space because space is aparichinna. Similarly, Atma is absolutely aparichinna. Therefore, it cannot be accommodated anywhere, and it does not need accommodation also. So then, how can the Atma manifest in the buddhi? Bhashyakara gives an example. How the Atma manifests in the buddhi, therefore seems to be present in the buddhi. Adarshastham mukham iti yadvat. Just like adarshastham mukham, the mukha, the face is in the mirror, adarshastham mukham, face in the mirror, iti. Similarly, atmastham, the atma present in the buddhi. This usage also is similar to adarshastham mukham. When we say face is in the mirror, the face is not really in the mirror. There is no adhara adheya bhava between face and mirror. There is only pratibimba, manifestation of the face in the mirror. Similarly, in the buddhi, the atma is not accommodated in the buddhi. There is only image of the atma in the buddhi, abhivyakti of the atma in the buddhi, in the form of sentiency. Tametam Ishwaram Atmanam Ye Nivrittabahya Anupashyanti Acharyagamoppadesham Anu Sakshat Anubhavanti Dhiraha Vivekinaha Tesham Parameshwarabhutanam Shashvatam Nityam Sukham Atmanandalakshanam Bhavati Na itaresham Bahyasakta buddhinam Avivekinam Swatmabhutam api Avidyavyavadhanat Tametam Ishwaram Atmanam. The Atma is Ishvara. Ishvara is not different from the Atma. The same Atma is Ishvara. Considered from one standpoint, it is Ishvara. With the Maya Upadhi, the same Atma becomes Ishvara. With the individual Upadhi, Buddhi Upadhi, Antahkarana Upadhi, the same Atma is Jiva. So, tametam Ishwaram Atmanam. This Atma, which is Ishvara, ye nivrittabahya vrittayaha, ye anupashyanti, and who see the Atma, who get the knowledge of the Atma, nivrittabahya vrittayaha, the ones who are free from bahya vritti, extrovertedness, engagement with the external objects, implying ragadvesha ityadi, bahya vritti, the vrittis, the thoughts dealing with the external objects, attachment to the external object, hatred to certain external object, and so on. Such people are called bahya vrittayaha, nivritta bahya vrittayaha, free from bahya vritti. Means viraktaha, those who have developed vairagya. Avritta chakshuhu amritatvamichan. Nivritta bahya vrittayaha indicates avritta chakshuhu amritatvamichan. Anupashyanti. Anupashyanti. Anu upasarga. Bhashyakara explains the importance of the anu upasarga. Acharyaagamopadesham anu sakshat anubhavanti. Acharya agama upadesham anu. Anu means through. Through what? Acharya agama upadesham. The upadesha, the teaching from Acharya. And the Acharya teaches the agama, the shastra. Therefore, Acharya agama upadesham anu. Through the teaching of the Acharya, the agama upadesha of the Acharya. Agamasya upadesha means Vedanta Vakyasya upadesha. And it is done by the Acharya. Acharyena agamopadesha. Tam anu, through it. See, everywhere Shankaracharya emphasizes on the need of upadesha, teaching the Shastra, because that is how the jnana happens. Shastra is very clear about it, and even Bhashyakara is very clear about it. Aparokshatma vijnanam Shastram deshika purvakam. Vidyaranya says in Panchadashi. Aparoksha jnana is a result of Shastracharya upadesha. Shastram deshika purvakam. Shabdam deshika purvakam. It is from Shabda, means a Shastra, which is taught by a Deshika, an Acharya. Sakshad anubhavanti. It is the meaning of Pashyanti. Pashyanti means Sakshad anubhavanti. Sakshat, directly. Anubhavanti, they understand, they know. Means aparoksha jnana, not paroksha jnana. They don't understand Brahman as a remote object. Asti Brahma. If it is Asti Brahma, Brahman is where? Somewhere. It is paroksha jnana. But when you say Aham Brahmasmi, then it is aparoksha jnana. It is sakshad anubhava. Aham Brahmasmi. Brahman is not remote for you anymore. In fact, the remoteness is only attributed to Brahman. Brahman is never remote. The remoteness is superimposed. The parokshatva is superimposed because of avidya. And through proper upadesha, even the parokshatva goes away. The idea that Brahman is paroksha goes away. Then you understand, I am Brahman. Sakshad anubhavanti dhiraha means vivekinaha, the vivekis. Tesham, such people who have understood the Atma, who have become awake to the Atma, they are Parameshwara Bhutanam. They have become Parameshwara, means they have become Brahman. Brahmaveda Brahmaiva Bhavati. A knower of Brahman is not different from Brahman. Therefore, Parameshwara Bhutanam, Brahma Bhutanam ityartha. Paramatma Bhutanam. Shashvatam Nityam Sukham. Their Sukha is Shashvata. Shashvatam is equal to Nityam. The Sukha is Nitya. And what is the Sukha? It is not a happiness that we experience. It is not happiness that is experienced. Any happiness that is experienced is anatma, because it is also another experience that comes and goes. This sukha is Atma Swarupa itself. Therefore, it is not bliss. Don't translate this sukha as bliss. Bliss is an experience. It is experiential. See, such verses are generally understood in a mystic way. I will meditate on the Atma, then I will get a blissful state. It is the Brahman state, and that blissful state will continue forever. Some people think so. But the Shruti does not mean that. Therefore, Shankaracharya clarifies, it is Atmananda Lakshanam Sukham. This Sukha is not an experience. Any experience of happiness, even if it is in a deep state of meditation, is Anatma. It is not Atma. This Sukha is Atmananda. It is Atma Swarupa Ananda. And this can never be experienced in a state. It is not meant for experiencing in a state. You have to be aware of it. You are the Sukha. Bhuma eva Sukham. It is Bhuma. It is infinity. It is limitlessness. That is the Sukha. Not the Sukha as we understand. And you are that. the more you become aware of it, I am infinite, I am the Ananda, then you are free from the sense of lacking, free from the sense of dissatisfaction. That is the sukha meant here. Atmananda lakshanam bhavati, and this Atma Sukha, being Atma Swarupa, it is Nitya. It is always present, eternal, not time bound. Na itaresham, not the other people. Itaresham sukham shashvatam na bhavati. Any other sukha is not shashvata sukha. Bahya sakta buddhinam avivekinam. Who are the other people? Bahya sakta buddhinam, whose mind is interested in the external objects. Avivekinam, the people who lack in viveka. Their sukha is not, they don't get the shashvata sukha. They don't find the eternal happiness. But the shashvata sukha, it is your own Atma, your own Swarupa. Then how can you say some people get it and some people don't get it? Then Bhashyakara says, even though it is your Swarupa, even though it is very much within you, it is covered by ignorance, covered by avidya. Swatnabhutam api avidyavyavadhanat. Even though it is Swatmabhuta, even though it is one's own Swarupa, it is veiled by ignorance, veiled by avidya, avidya vyavadhanat. There is no other vyavadhana between you and the Ananda. There is no deshakrita vyavadhana, no distance in space, no distance in time also. I will get it at one state. There is no distance in time also. Only one vyavadhanam, it is avidya. Avidya vyavadhanat. Since there is avidya vyavadhana, the other people don't discover the Swarupa, the Swarupananda. Instead, they look for the Ananda outside. So it is in the Vishaya, generally in the Vishaya. The search for external source of happiness can be all three, Rajasika, Tamasika and Sattvika also. Some people seek Tamasa Sukha. That is why we have ecstasy pills, etc. Such things are in the market. Why? Because some people are seeking Tamasa Sukha. If nobody seeks Tamasa Sukha, all the liquor shops and drug business will be in problem. They won't have business. So there are people seeking tamasa sukha. Then there are people seeking rajasa sukha. They seek sukha in rajoguna. All vishaya sukha is rajasa sukha. Vishayendriya sanyogad yattadagre mritopamam. It is rajasa sukha. Then there is sattvika sukha also. The sukha that you get while performing the sadhana is sattvika sukha. Sattvika sukha is greater than the other two forms of sukha. But in the meantime, we should understand that even the sattvika sukha is not Atma Swarupa. It is not the Swarupa sukha. Some people like to be in meditation and enjoy the bliss of meditation. And most often they don't understand that the blissful state that they experience is also anatma. They are stuck to the blissful state of meditation. And they think this is Atma. And they write biography also. I attained the blissful state of realization. The blissful state is also nonetheless a state. And when they come out of it, they are not happy. That is why some people want to stay in some cave in the Himalaya to enjoy the blissful state. Without understanding that it is also one of the anatma sukha only. So even the sukha that you experience when you are relaxed in meditation, it is also anatma. The atma sukha is not experienced. It is understood, discovered, because it is your own swarupa. Yeah. And once you discover your swarupa as the infinite, then you don't seek any experience of happiness, because you are satisfied as the infinite. Mantra 13. Nityo nityanam chetanascetananam eko bahunam yo vidadhati kaman tamatmastham yenu pashyanti dhiraha tesham shanti shashvati netaresham. The previous mantra talked about Sukha, which is called Paramananda, Atmananda, Atmananda Prapti. It is one of the twofold phalas of Atmajnana, Paramananda Prapti, an aspect of moksha. And another aspect of moksha is Shashvata Shanti, absolute freedom from samsara, Atyantiki samsara nivritti, total freedom from samsara. In the form of freedom from emotional vulnerability, freedom from psychological susceptibility, Shashvati Shantihi. And this mantra is talking about Shashvati Shantihi as the benefit of Atmajnana. Nityo Nityanam Cetanaschetananam Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadhati Kaman Tamatmastham Yenu Pashyanti Dhiraha Tesham Shantihi Shashvati Netaresham Nityaha Anityanam. Again, the Upanishad makes use of the opportunity to describe the Atma. Nityaha Anityanam. It is the Nitya of every Anitya. Every Anitya, every impermanent object is supported by a permanent. Every object is impermanent. But the impermanent object cannot exist without a permanent substratum. If you look at the movie screen, there are so many objects thrown on the movie screen, and every object is impermanent. Every object projected on the movie screen is impermanent. It comes and goes, floating. Just like some population here is floating population. They come and go. But then it is projected on a stationary, steady screen, a non-moving screen. The screen does not change with the changing images. Therefore, the whole movie is displayed on a non-moving screen. Movie is a movie. It moves. Therefore, it is called a movie. Then there is a non-movie, the screen. Without the non-movie, the movie is not possible. But people go to watch the movie. They hardly pay attention to the non-movie behind the movie. Similarly, every object is anitya. Impermanent. But every impermanent object is supported by the nitya, the eternal, the non-changing. So, the nitya is Atma. The nitya which supports all anitya is Atma. What is nitya in any object? Let us take this pot. What is permanent in this pot? The pot can be broken. Then there is clay. The clay also can be broken into molecules. The molecules also can be broken into atoms, and so on. But in all these, one thing cannot be broken, which exists in everything. It is the existence, the Sat. Pot is, clay is, molecules is, atom is. The is, existence cannot be broken. It will continue to exist. To any degree of dismantling, any degree of disintegration, the is will continue to exist. Therefore, existence, Sat, is Nitya. So, Anityanam Nityaha is Sat. Therefore, by saying Anityanam Nityaha, the Shruti says Brahman, Atma is the Sat, the existence present in everything. The existence that supports everything. Chetanaschetananam. Chetananam. There are many Chetanas, many sentient beings in the world. Brahmadistambha paryantanam. Whether it is a small blade of grass or the greatest jiva in the world, Brahman, Brahmadeva, the greatest jiva, Hiranyagarbha. All these are sentient beings. What makes all these sentient? It is the Atma, the Chaitanya. Every individual, every being, the sentiency of every being is the sentiency of Atma. Chetananam Chetanaha. The consciousness in every sentient being. Meaning that the Brahman is Chit. Eko Bahunam. It is one in all the many. Bahunam. In the many. Of the many. It is Ekaha. It is one. Meaning the one that encompasses everything. The one that pervades everything. The Atma cannot be excluded from anything. Everything is Atma. In fact, that is one of the reasons why it is difficult to understand the Atma. It's difficult to understand Brahman. Where is Brahman? You cannot isolate Brahman from other things and show this is Brahman. Brahman is not exclusive of any object. It is all around. Most often we have the orientation of finding an object as confined to a given name and form, with the exclusion of the others. It is our orientation. When a new object is introduced to us, when a new thing is introduced to us, we try to understand it as a confined object. Object confined to a given name and form, with the exclusion of the others. Just like a 2-year-old or 3-year-old baby, child, it understands any place as a small locality. This child has not seen many places. It only understands a small house, small room. And its conception of a place is that of a small house or a small room. And you are introducing to the child the concept of a nation, a country. You tell the child about our country, India. Then the child thinks India is like another house. Another house like this house. The child is not aware of a larger entity called a nation, which includes this house, the other house, and every house. The child's orientation is to understand a country as a limited entity. if there is any place, it should conform to the child's concept of a limited space. Therefore, the child finds it difficult to comprehend the idea of a large land mass, which includes so many smaller localities. Similarly, the human beings are oriented, have an orientation to find anything confined to a given name and form. But the Brahman pervades every name and form. The name and form are bahu, many. Every name and form is pervaded by the same Brahman. Therefore, eko bahunam, one among many, one who pervades many, not one among many, one who pervades many. Implying free from all paricheda. Since Brahman pervades everything, there cannot be any paricheda, there cannot be any limitation, there cannot be space-wise limitation, because space is pervaded by Brahman. There cannot be kala paricheda, because kala is pervaded by Brahman. And there is no vastu paricheda, because every vastu, every name and form is pervaded by Brahman. Therefore, eko bahunam implies anantam. Sat chit ananta. Satyam jnanam anantam brahma. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.